According to Polestar, an Asian edition of Grammy Awards will likely take place either in Japan or Korea. The Recording Academy, which presents the Grammy Awards, wants to establish an Asian Grammy. Before I give my 2 cents, I just want to make a disclaimer. Whatever it is I am going to say, it is my opinion and my perspective and mine alone. I am not speaking for or in behalf of my country, my followers, or my region.
Hi everybody, you guys wanted me to give my 2 cents on this Asian Grammy thingy. Supposedly there is going to be one at the end of the year or next year, and it's going to be held in Korea. I know that you asked me because you wanted something objective and something level-headed, and I appreciate that you're coming to me for that, and I also want to promise that that is what I will always try to deliver. Okay. Let me start by expressing my appreciation to the North American market. I know I knock a lot on the North American industry, but the truth is that of the many different markets, music markets, North America has been far easier to penetrate than others. The mere fact that there are a lot of Asian artists with a foothold of the North American market is a testament of how welcoming it has been. Okay, I recognize that. I also recognize just how much the Grammys actually has been able to do for the Western music industry. They have really elevated not just their brand, their own brand, but the brand of the Western music industry. So kudos to that. Okay, now, is this something that we can apply? Or is this something that we should bring to the Asian market? That's the question.
I don't hate the Grammys. For better or for worse, it has created history in the US and the world, but it is also a history embedded in their culture, but not Asian culture. It worked because for the longest time, the US was actually homogenous. That is why today, in spite of claims of inclusivity, songs written in other languages, even though they are better than other nominated songs, both in form and content, either go unnoticed or they just lose. The Grammys remains an award show for US talents despite claims of inclusivity. And no, I'm not knocking on it. After all, I wouldn't want award shows in my country meant to recognize Filipino talents to be giving away awards to non-Filipino talents. I just wish that the Grammys is clearer in this. Their website refers to the music community and recognition of music on a national level. So it kind of implies that music and artists that come into the US are qualified. They've also nominated foreign artists singing foreign languages. But setting that aside and going back to the original point, Asia is not homogeneous. The Asian diversity. There are more than 40 countries in Asia. Some countries have hundreds of languages, races, and culture. In the Philippines, for example, my home country, we have more than 180 ethno-linguistic groups. Indonesia has more than 300 native languages. India has more than 19,500 dialects with 121 languages, making it the most multilingual country in the world. Each language has their own nuances, sensitivities. It is impossible to compare one from the other. How will you then create an award for a category with any real weight, legitimacy, or value when there are thousands of types of music, each with their own sensitivities, history, and influences? If there is anything the whole world agrees on, it would be that music and art is highly subjective. It's already hard enough to come up with a universal measure of excellence when it comes to arts, even when everyone speaks the same language. How much more if there are thousands of different languages, backed by different culture, different traditions, and different beliefs? We have already seen the Grammys try to do this with Latin Grammys. Latinos don't have thousands of languages and culture, but they still have a lot. And Latin Grammys has failed to truly represent real Latin music. The most likely outcome is for the popular ones to win. And do I want that for Asian culture and for Asian art? Do I want the popular only to win? No. No, Definitely not. Asian music is built on Asian values. Asian music is highly influenced by our culture, and our culture includes our values, beliefs, and faith. Music is part of our culture, and our culture is part of our music. Unlike the West, again, this is not a knock on the Western industry, who has made a great effort to detach faith from art, Asia's art is very much grounded on faith. That makes it un-Grammy. And if Grammy says they will just adjust how they choose the winners to accommodate Asian sensibilities, then that is not Grammy anymore. What do we need Grammys for? I truly and honestly respect how the West is evolving their music and entertainment industry. It is an evolution, however, I do not want for Asia. It is honestly scary, horrifying even, to even entertain the thought of Western entertainment style influencing ours. What do we do if we use words that are local to us but offensive to you? What are you going to do if we have practices that goes against your sensibilities? Are you going to manipulate Asians to submit to your sensitivities for a chance at winning? Are you going to guilt trip us into following your ways? I think it's obvious that we respect your sensitivities when we are in your country, but I do not think it is right for any other race to influence our ways of life, our languages, our value system, our faith, and how we put all of them together. It feels like colonization once again. It is, after all, the modern way, right? If you want to colonize a country, attack their culture. The Grammy system does not recognize superior music. It wasn't even designed that way from the beginning. What many don't take into consideration is how irrelevant Grammy's way of choosing a winner. In this day and age, Grammy members are also musicians, and it's not like you have to be a good one to be a member. If you get any type of legit mainstream work, you can get an invitation, and for as long as you pay the annual membership fee, you can stay a member. The members choose the winners, and that's subject to the person's biases, interests, and trends. People don't necessarily vote for what they think is objectively superior. Worse, not everyone knows what is objectively a superior art. This is why Grammy in the US is starting to fail. People are starting to realize that the system is flawed and biases are becoming more and more apparent. That's one of the benefits and the curses of the internet. Connection, content, limitless access to different forms of art from different people from different parts of the world has exposed us to the type of music that is good, not just the type of music that is being supported by millions of dollars of people in suits. And then there's another controversial question. Is this expansion or is this protection? Grammy seems to claim expansion. It seems that they want to bring their type of success to other countries or other regions. It's a little condescending if I'm being blunt, and a little funny if I take it lightheartedly. Why would they think we need their success model? Asia has the second biggest music market, Japan, and it's not even a tenth of the size of the US. K-pop has built a global influence that its model is being copied by the West. Let's not even get into substance, but is this really expansion or Grammy's attempt to protect their brand by limiting the real Grammy winners, quote unquote, in the US and leave satellite awards in localized Grammys? If Grammy really wants inclusion, if it really aims to recognize artists and songs in the US, why not restructure their rules first in the US in order to accommodate the many other songs in many different languages to be judged fairly without biases? Once they get that in order, maybe we can talk about expansion.
Next is that it is for Asia, and so I feel that it should be from Asians. There should be the one group of people that should benefit from it should be Asians as well. I'm not saying that I do not want to return the favor since the North American market has been so welcoming. I'm not saying that I don't want to return the favor. I'm just saying that Asia should be the priority. Grammy itself, the other thing, the Grammy itself is losing its market, it's losing relevance, it's going down in terms of popularity year by year. And I think it is because the way that we are consuming music, the way that our relationship with music and the way that we consume it, those are changing now. And I don't think expanding to the to the Asian market will save Grammys. I think the problem with Grammys is fundamental more than anything else. I think the show itself is too long and they don't really offer any kind of unique, groundbreaking production numbers, which is what you want if you're gathering all the most popular and successful artists in the world. I think there is a fundamental problem with how they are choosing their winners. I think there is a fundamental problem with how they are sustaining their brand in between the award season. So they have enough problems there for them to even think of coming into Asia. Now, is there anything that could stop them? I don't think so. I think they are hell-bent in creating an Asian Grammy the same way they did Latin Grammys. But it doesn't really stop us from expressing our opinion. If at all, I wish that this is going to inspire somebody in Asia to create something that is ours, that would be more representative of how we do things here in Asia, how the relationship that we have with music, and how that music is actually a representation of our culture, which includes our faith, our values, our education, our way of life, and the actual diversity itself. So that's where I stand. I don't like it. I do not think anybody can stop it. I think it's going to happen. Do I feel anything towards this speculation that Grammy is doing this so that they don't have to nominate Asians in the US Grammy Awards? I don't think so. I think they will still be nominating some acts. I think that's going to remain. But more than anything, I think they're doing this because it's just for expansion, right? And that is where I stand. I definitely want to hear your thoughts. Let me know. As you know, this channel, we are trying to create an Asian entertainment and culture online magazine. That's where I want to start first. I want to provide the world some actual relevant and objective news and information, and we will see where we're going to go from here. But I am sure there is somebody out there that has the funds, that has the connection, that could create something that, as I've said, will be a better representation of how we do things here in Asia. Would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comment section. Please give this video a like, subscribe, and hit that notification button, and share the video if you can. Also, please follow me on all the social media links that you see on your screen right now: Patreon, X or Twitter, and then Instagram. Thank you. I appreciate you all.